Let's get ready to rumble! He's taken another one, and Howard Foster has stopped it! Wow!
This is Thomas Lyons of Raps on TV. I'm down there at York Hall for the public workout and Andy Joshua's world title defence against Alexander Povetkin, joined by Matt Macklin. How's everything going, Matt?
Yeah, well, good, mate. Good.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the fights now Saturday.
So in terms of breaking down the fight, the main event, the spotlight that surrounds such a massive Wembley stage, obviously Povetkin's second time fighting Price at the Principality and now again against the unified world champion. How do you think Povetkin's going to deal with the situation ahead of fight night on Saturday?
I don't think he'll phase him one little bit. You know, he's a big star in Russia. He's an Olympic champion, world amateur champion. He's travelled the world boxing for Russia in the amateurs. Like I say, in a professional, he's been a big star in Russia for a long time. Fought Vladimir Klitschko 5 years ago. Vladimir Klitschko was a big star in the world, but I think he fought him. I don't know if it was in Germany. No, it was in Moscow. They fought. That was a huge event in Russia. So. Yeah, it is a big event. He's been in Cardiff before, you know, so he knows what to expect. Yeah. And I don't think that'll phase him one little bit.
And there's obviously a lot of Olympic chemistry between the two, both Olympic gold medalists. So do you see the early rounds being cagey, or do you think Josh is going to implement his aggressiveness, his physicality on the fight?
I think he'll come out and he'll impose his style. He'll want to establish that he's the boss. He'll want to, I think, hopefully try and get hold of the centre of the ring, maybe pushing back behind the jab if he can, but I think there might be a little bit of a battle for that centre spot, because I think Povetkin's going to want to come forward. You know, maybe Joshua will let him and just try and jab and walk him onto the uppercuts, but I think it'll be cagey. I don't think anyone will be reckless, but I don't think anyone will be. I think people will be keen to establish who's boss early on.
And do you sort of see the wider boxing fan base potentially overlooking Povetkin as a mandatory challenge? Obviously, he earned his stripes to get into that position, and there's only one defeat to Klitschko.
I think people are doing that because of all the talk of Wilder and all the hype with this negotiation and a lot on social media and Rudy Bella back and forth with Eddie Hearn, and that's what's, you know. So then all of a sudden he's going to fight his mandatory, this Russian guy. But you know, people in boxing know that Vladimir Klitschko aside, this is the best opponent Andy Joshua's faced. You know, he's only lost one fight, and that was to Vladimir Klitschko 5 years ago, which was a better Vladimir Klitschko than the one that Joshua beat. You know, and he got put foot down 4 times, but he got up 4 times. You know, he got hurt against David Price, but he recovered. He can't get anyone to be hurt in the heavyweight division, but he recovered. He survived the moment. He's experienced, and he's got good powers of recovery. And it's a dangerous opponent. You know, that's some big knockouts on his record. He's bang with the right hand over the top of the jab. Very good left hooker. He's good head movement. He's good at closing the distance and getting in close. So it's a dangerous fight. I expect Joshua to win. I see it being a 12-round fight. You know, I think it's a tough fight. I think it's a 12-round distance fight.
Looking at it from Povetkin's perspective and assessing maybe Joshua's last few fights with Takam and Parker, not the explosiveness that we might associate with Joshua obviously early on in his career, but is there any particular weaknesses you sort of see that they could exploit from Povetkin's side?
No, I mean, what you better understand is a lot of these guys early on who Joshua knocking out, you know, he was a great amateur. He was still growing. Not just as a fighter, but even as a man. You know, now he's coming into his own. He's maybe not even at his peak yet. You know, he's still learning. You know, his last few fights have been great learning fights. The Klitschko fight was a real sort of coming of age fight. It was the best opponent. He got put down. It was a huge event in Wembley. He was very tired in the middle rounds. He fought his way through that fatigue, find a second win, and close the show out in the 11th round, which was brilliant to see. You know, then he was meant to fight Pulev. That fight never materialised. So, you know, he had to go through the experience of adjusting and making, you know, adaptations to a difficult opponent, Carlos Takam. At 10 days' notice, different sparring than what he would have had for Pulev. And then obviously the Joseph Parker fight, it was a different proposition again. He's fighting a guy who's got great lateral movement, very elusive, who was pretty cagey, a little bit negative, didn't want to engage. So he must have felt at times that he wanted to play to the crowd, but he didn't. He stuck to his tactics. He listened to his corner, and he fought a very disciplined fight, controlling things from the centre of the ring, behind the jab. And you know, this fight, he might need to put all of that together. You know, I think he has to show discipline. He has to stick to his tactics, he has to listen to his corner, and there might be times where he has to go through some adversity and he has to dig deep. So, you know, it's I think all the last few fights coming up to this one could all play a part, all the lessons he's learned from those fights.
We just move it slightly. I know Joshua wants to get a few pictures with the fans. Very popular man. You back in your day were very established as a pro.
Quite like that.
Are you missing it by any chance, Matt? The pro game, or are you happy retired now?
I don't miss a day today. I'm happy in life that I'm retired. I had my had a long career. It was definitely the right time to retire. I could have probably done a year or so earlier, maybe, but I'm glad I had those few more fights just to get the closure on it that I needed. So there's no comebacks. But I'm happier this side of the road.
Yeah. And I know the heavyweight landscape's booming at the moment. So you got, without overlooking Povetkin, Josh has got a massive test on his hands this weekend. You know, probably a more stern test than he's had previously. And in terms of the Wilder Fury sort of negotiations, being said there's a press conference on Monday for that fight potentially in December. What do you see in terms of the winner of that maybe possibly fighting the winner of this, or do you think in terms of the political barriers that could be an infringement for that fight to take place next?
Who knows? You know, who knows? What I will say is I think that Tyson Fury is the most skillful heavyweight in the world.
Yeah.
Wilder, I think, is the biggest puncher heavyweight in the world. I think Joshua is probably the most versatile and complete.
There's a mixture of everything, really, isn't
it? But I think the heavyweight division is booming. It's great to see it, and I do think these fights will come together. You know, Canelo-Golovkin took 3 years to happen from when it was initially meant to. Sometimes these big super fights, they take a little bit of time. We don't always get them when we want them, but as long as we get them before they're past their sell-by date, you know, then we'll be happy.
And touching on that middleweight showdown from the weekend, obviously Canelo got the second victory over Golovkin. Similar to the first fight, very sort of, you know, pick and choose who won the fight. What was your assessment? Do you feel Canelo this time around deserved the decision?
I thought Golovkin was a clear winner in a very competitive fight first time round. What I mean was, I thought he won 8 rounds out of 12. I definitely thought he won 7 out of the 12. So for me, it was a bad decision. This one, I had Golovkin winning by a round, but I wouldn't argue at all if you said you had Canelo by a round. It could have been a draw. It was like literally a toss of a coin. It was that close. Nothing between them really. Great fight. I thought Canelo fought a smart fight. You know, he didn't. He took the centre of the ring. He stood his ground. He didn't give him. He didn't allow Golovkin to push him back and give him too much momentum. But don't get me wrong. I thought Golovkin used his jab brilliantly and boxed well. So yeah, I thought both guys fought really well. It was a great fight, and love to see it again.
Yeah, just before I quickly run through the undercard for Saturday night, you know, Billy Joe Saunders going out to America to defend his WBO world title against Demetrius Andrade. Do you see the inactivity from Andrade playing a major determinant in who's going to, you know, stamp their ascendancy or stamp their authority on the fight? Billy Joe, obviously, very quick mover, switch hitter. Do you think he's going to have the added attributes that?
I'd probably give Billy Joe the edge, but it's a fight between two really slick, clever southpaws, and neither of them have been the most active. You know what I mean? So it's a great fight. It's an intriguing matchup, and two seriously skilled operators.
And a highly anticipated rematch between Luke Campbell, another Olympic gold medalist, and Ivan Mendy in their first fight in December 2015. Mendy obviously edged that fight, split decision. Do you see Campbell's pedigree now that he's gone on to box Linares as being sort of the advantage going into this fight, or do you see Mendy as a live opponent, dangerous for the early rounds and can cause Campbell havoc?
I think Luke's going to look $1 million on Saturday night. I think he's going to wipe his slate clean and he's going to do a number on Mendy. I don't know if he stops him because Mendy's a tough, durable guy, but I think he beats him up. I think he'll do what he should have, what he'll feel he should have done first time, but I don't think he had the tools to do it. You know, he's only had 12 fights. He was getting by really on amateur skill and talent, natural talent, where since then he's made adjustments. He's become a seasoned professional. He's had a lot of learning fights, and he's now a seasoned professional, not a talented amateur. And I think he just got out-hustled out of it by Mendy, old-manned out of it a little bit in the first one. Like I say, he only had 12 fights, but I think this fight is going to wipe the slate clean, and I think he's going to do a really good job on it.
With a switch of trainers to Shane McGuigan, very reputable, has worked with the likes of Cole Frampton in the past, David Hay. What ingredients do you see Shane adding to Luke's style to possibly elevate him to get to that world level, get that world championship level stage and get that world title under his belt?
You know what, I think Shane McGuigan's a good coach. I think he's very up to date with strength and conditioning and all that kind of stuff. He's experienced as a coach as well. I think he's what I would look for, and I did have different trainers. You look for, well, who's he had success with? What kind of style of fighter does he really do well with? You know, for example, Billy Graham was very good with body punchers, physically strong guys that were quite aggressive. You know, Brendan Ingle, obviously completely different to that. Now, Shane McGuigan trains Josh Taylor, who's a really good southpaw. You know, pretty, not too dissimilar to Luke Campbell in style. So, you know, if I was Luke Campbell, I was looking at the kind of success he's having with Josh Taylor.
Trying to implement that.
That would lead me. That's probably what would sway me towards Shane McGuigan.
Well, no, Matt, you've got other media commitments. I appreciate you giving us some of your time. Thomas Lyons, Raps on TV, Matt Macklin. Appreciate the time. Top man. Nice one, Matt. Thank you.